What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dizzy. Appreciate you tuning in to another episode of Halftime with Dizzy. This video is going to be another short and quick one, man. As I said in the last video, the end of the semester is approaching, and so I got final papers, projects, tests, all types of stuff due. So this one is going to be short. It's going to be quick, but there are some things I want to talk about, get off my chest. So that's why I had to make this video. Before we get into it, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it, man. So one team that I haven't talked about at all this year is my own. As many of you know, or if you don't know, I'm out here in Billings, Montana, playing football for Rocky Mountain College, and this season hasn't gone the way any of us expected it to. Me especially, because as most of you know, I got hurt in the second game, out for the season. But talking from the team standpoint, we're such a talented group. And we definitely expected to do way better than we are now. But, despite all the roadblocks, we've been doing the best we could. And, there's a lot to be proud of and a lot to look forward to going into the future. But we were hit with a tragic event last week, and that's why I didn't post last week. One of our brothers, one of our teammates, he tragically passed away, Chandler, and sad, heartbreaking, things like that. That doesn't even begin to describe, the feelings going on, throughout this team, throughout this community. And originally I was gonna talk about the why, the how, and all this stuff, but that stuff doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we lost a young man, a freshman, 18 years old, from Florida, and we had no business losing this young man's life. He had so much ahead of him. He had dreams and aspirations, and sadly, his life was cut short. But on the schedule all year, we were supposed to go down to Arizona Christian in Phoenix. We were supposed to fly down there and play them. So the question became, where are we gonna play? Did we want to continue the season? Things like that. And we decided as a team that we were going to continue to play and that we were going to play for Chandler. We went down to Arizona Christian, and here's some highlights of how that went.
Score prediction, I'm going to say 42-7. So,
I bet.
Chandler.
Yeah.
A few minutes later.
Get him on.
12 seconds later.
Go room.
Chandler on 3. 1, 2, 3. Chandler! Great job!
We went down there and we certainly played for Chandler. Chandler was watching us and was with us every step of the way. We know that. And I just want to take this moment to say thank you to our athletic director, Jim Kleeman, to our head coach, Chris Stutz, our administration, our president, Dr. Wilmoth, and, everyone who's been supporting us. This trip would not have been possible had it not been for them. And we told them straight up that if we were going to go, if we were going to play, we needed everyone there. We needed the whole team there. We needed everyone together. And they didn't think twice about it. They said, okay, let's do it. So they put all 100 of us on a plane, took us down to Phoenix, which, if you know anything about NAIA sports, that's not common. That's not something that happens often. So, in terms of us healing, us grieving, and trying to move forward, this definitely was a huge step in the right direction. It was good to see my teammates, my brothers, to be laughing, smiling, joking around with each other. Plus, a lot of us are from the West Coast, so families were down there. We got to be around them. It just felt a lot of love, a lot of, again, joy. and it was a great step in the right direction. And again, that wouldn't be possible had it not been for athletic director Jim Kleeman, head coach Chris Stutz, and our whole administration that's backing us up. So I want to say thank you to them, and leave one last message to the family of Chandler Stall Cup. I know you heard it a million times while you were out here, but you forever have a family in us, and for the rest of our lives, for the rest of our seasons, whatever the case may be, we will always continue to play and live like Chandler. Moving on to some NFL games, man. This past weekend, there were some great games that went on all throughout the NFL. And as I've said on this show before, my end goal is to one day be on TV talking this stuff, debating this stuff. And one thing that they always ask on TV, on some of these talk shows, these debate shows, is, was it more impressive or was it more disappointing? So what that means is two good teams play each other. Obviously, one wins, one loses. And the question becomes, was it more impressive that this team won or more disappointing that this team lost? And so I thought, if it's a question that I'm going to be approached with later on down the road, why not practice some of my answers now? And there's no better weekend to start than this weekend with these great games. Starting with the Eagles versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys took the L, of course, and I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. Y'all know that y'all suck, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. But in terms of, was it more impressive that the Eagles won or more disappointing that the Cowboys lost, I'm gonna say it's more disappointing that the Cowboys lost because they were in position to win more than once. They had 2 drives at the end of the game. Poor clock management by Mike McCarthy, poor decision making by Dak Prescott, and that ultimately led them to losing this game. Your defense let up 14 points in the third quarter, but nothing else besides that. And so you got to find a way to go win that game if you're Dallas's offense. And it just brings it back to everyone's problem with Dallas is they can't do it in the big moments. They can't do it when the lights get bright and when it's time to be great. So to me, that's more of a disappointing loss just because you had the opportunity to go into Philly and knock off one of the best teams in the NFL, and you folded. You didn't seize the opportunity. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that it was more disappointing for the Cowboys in that aspect. Moving on to Chiefs versus Dolphins. The Chiefs played the Dolphins. I think it was in Germany. Chiefs beat the Dolphins. And in terms of who was it more impressive for the Chiefs or more disappointing for the Dolphins? I'm gonna say it was more impressive on the Chiefs' part, just because when you have an all-time great quarterback and you don't need him to play his best game, but you can still win, that says a lot about your team, about the defense that the Chiefs have. I don't know if we're paying close enough attention to this defense and how good this defense has been playing. But if you're telling me that they're gonna shut down a prolific offense, because before Sunday, majority of people would say that the Dolphins probably had the best offense in football. You hold them to 14 points, meaning Patrick Mahomes only has to score 3 touchdowns. I mean, come on, that's like saying all LeBron got to do is make a layup. It's going to be easy for this team to win games if Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to go out and light up the scoreboard, especially when they're having issues on offense in terms of who's going to get the ball outside of Travis Kelce. If your defense can ball and stop the other team and keep them from scoring, over 21 points, Patrick Mahomes is going to go get you 3-4 touchdowns easy. So they're able to win games without Patrick Mahomes having to go out there and have these crazy performances, even though we know he will. And that's the scary part, is that when he does have those performances, it's going to be blowouts because your defense is not letting up a lot of points. So I think it was a more impressive win on Kansas City's part. And the last big game of the weekend was on Sunday night. It was the Bills going up against the Bengals. The Bengals took care of them, and to me, it's disappointing to see the Bills just be so inconsistent. One week we're looking at them and saying they look good. The next week we're looking at them and saying, this team is bad, and I think I saw something that said if the playoffs started today, they would be out of the playoffs. So again, I talked about it a couple weeks ago about how Josh Allen and this Bills team have been talking about for years about competing with Patrick Mahomes, and they're going to be the next team out the AFC and all this stuff. But we're not seeing it this year. We're not seeing it at all. And if you want to make it to the big dance, you're going to have to beat a Bengals. You're going to have to beat a Jacksonville, a Kansas City, a Miami, a Baltimore. And if you're going to fold when those big moments come, similar to the Cowboys, then we can't have you in those top dog conversations, because when it's time to be a top dog, you over there crying like a pup. So disappointing to see the Bills lose the way they lost and the way they've been losing. Moving on to some pick'ems, we got to do that. We're going to stick with the NFL right now. Browns at Ravens. I'm going to go ahead and take the Ravens on this one. They got the hot hand. They've been balling. Definitely looking like one of the better teams in the NFL, if not the best team. I know the Browns have Deshaun Watson back, but they're not going to have their offensive tackle, Jedrick Willis Jr., so that's huge against this Ravens defense. And on the defensive side of the ball for the Browns, and Greg Newsome II, cornerback, he's questionable, and that's going to be huge in terms of trying to stop this Ravens pass game that's been lethal over the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to take Baltimore to win this game at home. 49ers at Jaguars, another good game, I think, or has the potential to be a good game. There's no real critique, no real analysis going into this. I'm just taking who has the hot hand, and that's Jacksonville. They've won 5 in a row. San Fran's lost the last 3, so I'm going to take Jacksonville to win this game at home. Lastly, the Lions are going to go down to LA and take on the Chargers. I'm going to take Detroit to win this game. The Chargers are not going to have Mike Williams. They're not going to have Josh Palmer, who are 2 big-time receivers for the Chargers. And also, the big reason why I'm going to pick Detroit is because it looks like David Montgomery might be back this week, and that's huge in terms of the running game that Detroit's kind of been missing the last couple of weeks, and that's why we've kind of seen them sputter and not be themselves. So you're going to get David Montgomery back, so that running game is going to be on point with him and Gibbs. Chargers are probably going to have to stack the box, and then now you can go play action. You can run your crossing routes, your mesh routes to Amon-Ra St. Brown, to Jameson Williams, Josh Reynolds, guys like that. Laporta, who's been balling against this Chargers defense, who is the 3rd worst in pass defense. So I'm going to take Detroit to win this game on the road. Moving on to college, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be a little boring for me. I don't see no crazy upsets happening, at least from the games that I saw that look like they'll be good games. Number 2, Michigan's going to go down to play number 9, Penn State, and I got Michigan winning this game, despite, it may be them cheating. Who knows? We'll see what the outcome is, but at the end of the day, they've been winning. They've been rolling. They've been looking like a really good and strong team. My dad always says, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, and they've been trying hella hard. So I'm going to take Michigan to win this game on the road. Next up, number 13, Utah's going to head to number 5, Washington. Again, Washington's got the hot hand. Michael Penix Jr., front runner for the Heisman. And they're coming off big-time wins. That defense for Washington, it did bring up some question marks, but I think they'll have enough to stop Utah's offense. I'm going to take Washington to win this game at home. And lastly, USC at number 6, Oregon. I'm going to take Oregon to win this game, and I think it's going to be a blowout, to be honest. I usually pick good games, but I think it's going to be a blowout. I think USC, they've spiraled out of control, and they kind of know that their season's over. So I think the Oregon Ducks, they're gonna go and they're gonna put a whooping on them. To me, Oregon is going out and they're playing like, get out our way. We got our eyes set on a rematch against Washington in the Pac-12 championship. Get out of our way. Nobody try to step in front of us, because we gonna knock you down, and that's exactly how they've been playing as of late. I'm gonna take them to win this game at home. Lastly, like I said, quick video. It's time for the halftime speech. Got to have it at the end of every video. Doesn't matter if it's 20, 30 minute long video. Doesn't matter. Got to have a halftime speech in there to help whoever it is that it could help. If it helps one person, then I'm glad and I'm thankful that I'm able to do that and impact anyone that I can. This week's halftime speech, man, I think it's only right after the stuff I mentioned at the beginning of the video, man. Just love your people. Love your people. Love the people around you, your family, your friends, whether y'all, talk, don't talk, whether y'all like each other, don't like each other. At the end of the day, God put us in each other's lives for a reason. So make sure we love on one another, man. Call someone that you ain't talked to in a minute. Let them know you love them, because, if it's anything that I've learned the last couple weeks, not just with everything going on out here, but other things in my life, the next day ain't guaranteed to anybody. And so, we got to love each other while we're here. Can't live with any regrets. Can't live thinking, I wish I could have said this, done this, whatever. We got to make sure we appreciate, we celebrate, we love each other while we're all here on earth, because our time is limited. So, like I said, make sure you love on somebody today. If you're still watching, as always, I love you. If no one else tells you, I love you. And make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, share with a friend. As I continue to work and to grow, I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying the things that I put out. Make sure you're giving me feedback. I don't get my feelings hurt. So if you think I did something bad, let me know. If you think I did something good, please tell me. I always appreciate that. And as always, stay tuned. I'll have another video for you real soon. Dub.